Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to my channel once again, and for today's recipe I'm going to whip up the all-famous crunchy French toast that you'll see in a lot of breakfast cafes and hotel B&B menus nowadays, and I wanted to show you how simple this dish is to make, plus I added a caramel apple pie feel for extra measure. Okay, let's dive into the recipe. Okay, so first up is getting the crunchy French toast prepped out. So in a small mixing bowl, you're going to whisk together the salt, sugar, ground nutmeg, cinnamon, whole egg, and milk until thoroughly combined. Now, as far as the bread goes, you can use a variety of different bread for this depending on what you like. In this case, I'm using brioche, but I prefer to get whole loaves so I can cut them as thick or as thin as I'd like for a recipe like this. Of course, next up is the crunchy, not so secret ingredient anymore to this recipe, and that is corn flakes. It's the most common ingredient to make crispy or crunchy French toast, but plain Rice Krispies can do the trick as well. Basically, just crush them up a bit so that they stick a little bit easier to the freshly battered French toast. This part is pretty self-explanatory, but you just want to make sure that there aren't any dry spots on the bread when you pull it out of the spiced batter, because the more coverage you get, the more crunchy coating you will have after you cook it. Now that the crunchy French toast is ready for the griddle, you want to get the caramel apple slices ready right when that toast comes off the stove. So grab a few Honeycrisp or Fuji apples and begin to slice them into semi-wet, even wedges. Then add some butter and sugar to a large saute pan on low to medium heat and begin to caramelize the apple wedges. Once they're all in the pan, increase the heat to medium, and these will take about 5 minutes to cook. If it gets a little too syrupy, just add a splash of water to thin it out. Alright, so the apples look really good to go. They should have still a little crispiness in the center of them. And it's time to heat up my griddle or a very large saute pan on medium to high heat. Add a generous amount of veggie oil or butter to the griddle and start to cook each piece of crunchy toast to crispy perfection. I cook each side for about 2 minutes or until they become golden brown. But most places will fry the toast, but I just have a really hard time deep frying bread. After the toast has achieved maximum crispiness, pull it off the griddle and it's time to plate. Here I'm just going to slice the toast and have it shingled down a long plate. Then I'm going to top it with a generous amount of the caramel apples, plus a little bit of that apple-infused caramel. After that comes some French vanilla ice cream. You're going to add a few scoops of that to the top, add a little sprinkle of spiced crumble, give it a nice little extra crispy edge, and of course, maple syrup and a dash of powdered sugar to finish. And that's it, crunchy French toast with caramel apple a la mode. All right, this video has been a long time coming. I actually filmed the video portion of, or the recipe portion of this, I want to say like a year or so ago, and I just never got around to doing the outro because I got busy. I forget something with the kids. So finally, you know, poor me, I get to recreate this and enjoy some crispy apple, what is it? Crispy French toast apple a la mode. So very excited, and let me run through the flavors. All right, ooh, the apple caramel is insane. And funny enough, Rachel used to, the inspiration behind this was Rachel. Every time we go, you know, on a little vacation or go out somewhere and stay at a hotel, we always try to get some crispy, you know, fried French toast or something, you know, really terrible in the morning. And so I wanted to recreate it, and this looks really, really good. And the little apple flair was my idea. The infusion of that, like the apple juices and the caramel, just make it so good, you know, very apple pie-ish. And the ice cream is almost like cold butter, cold sweet butter. It's so good. The brioche, of course, melts apart in your mouth. Super crispy. I gotta say, apples are really killing it, especially paired with the cold ice cream. Super hot caramel, and then the apples are like steaming in the middle. Definitely something, you know, fun for the kids. This is kind of something you would treat yourself every other weekend, once a month maybe, because it definitely is very rich. But people would enjoy this, a nice little brunch, especially if you had like a big spread of them and you had some, you know, bunch of scoops of ice cream. You can get really, really fun with this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This was, like I said, a recipe video, long time in the making, and I enjoyed it very much, especially with the recreation. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, comment down below for future video requests, recipes you'd like to see, and I'll see you guys next time with another recipe. Bye guys.